since 1945, Europe has surrendered its influence. And it's really quite striking because if you think about it, its population, the greater Eurozone, is much bigger than ours. It's about 800 million people. And if you think about it, the EU and the Eurozone, I should say, has a second largest GDP in the world. It's larger than China's. And when you look at science and technology and industry, it's still among the leaders. So you would think that it would exercise a prominent role in world affairs, but I don't know whether it was the trauma of the two world wars or it was its long held infatuation with socialism, but it has now, its economy is stagnant. Its energy policy is suicidal. It's foregone using clean coal or natural gas or oil. France is the only country that really does nuclear power to any large extent, at least in Western Europe. It doesn't spend 2%. I think 6 countries do. That's it, of its budget on its self-defense. If the United States didn't help it, I think Putin could go all the way through to the Thames. So all of its deeply held beliefs, the consensus, whether it's open borders, unlimited immigration, redistribution, disarmament, they failed. And it's too bad, because if Europe would get back to a free society and a free market capitalist economy and a very muscular defense, collective defense industry and preparedness and deterrent, along with the United States, the two of them would operate in a way that would be very good for the world. And they can't. We don't have a partner there. And now that we're hemorrhaging, they're going to lose their partner because we are no longer in a position financially, culturally, politically, socially to be the big beacon of Western civilization. You can see that in our streets. And so, as I keep saying, there's something going on in Europe, in France, in Germany, in Greece, in Italy, in Spain, in Britain, but I don't know if it's going to be enough or it's too late. There's some people say we have to spend more in defense. We've got to import natural gas or frack ourselves. We've got to watch our immigration. It's just killing us. 20 to 25% of European countries, the people are not born in that country. And they can look to California, where it's the highest of any state, 27%. And that's an enormous challenge when you have 27% of your population that are mostly coming as impoverished immigrants under illegal auspices without capital skills or English. And then when you have a host that's lost confidence in the ability to integrate them in the body politic, you've got what we have in California on a continental dimension in Europe. And so this article got a lot of heat, Jack, because a lot of people wrote me and said, "What's wrong with you? Europe is over. They deserve it. They're gone, Victor. They're just wimps. They're socialists. All they want to do is eat and screw. They're worthless. They hate us." And so my article was, yeah, I know that. And I don't like that. I like to bring them back in as a partner. I mean, they caused 2 world wars, but they also helped us end them. And there was something majestic about the French army at one time and the British intelligence agencies. And it's a great place, and you need it as a partner. And it would exercise a lot of authority in the world rather than to be anti-American all the time and join with people who hate the West. The thing about Europeans are this: when you meet a conservative European, they are some of the most articulate, bright, inductive people in the world. They really are. They have to be, because they've been so beleaguered. But I do interviews with a lot of them from Italy and from Switzerland, and they're better informed than our conservatives. And they're very brave people, and they're starting to be in the ascendance. People are starting to listen to them because it doesn't work what the left did to Europe. It does not work. So we look at these horrible riots, these right-wing people that are rioting all over Ireland. Okay, but when you have the leaders of the government of Ireland saying there's too many white people, and it's 98% white originally, there's too many of them, and we're going to let in 20% of the population is not going to be born in Ireland, and then you demonized your own people, and then an immigrant, supposedly from Algeria, people get angry because they know nothing's going to happen. So yes, they are barbaric, they're savage, they're breaking the law, but they represent something. And that is the anger at an elite who is adopting policies that are suicidal to the body of the citizenry. And that's why people are angry. They have no voice. You see, what's happening in Europe, but also here, is it's a paradox, and everybody's afraid to articulate it. So you say that the majority white population or Western whatever group, whether you want to define them racially, I don't, but their critics do. But the people who follow the Western paradigm created the conditions under which people who are not in the Western paradigm want to join. Okay? So somebody in Gaza or Saudi Arabia's customs, traditions, and values do not lead to Paris or New York or the United States or Carmel. It doesn't do that. But that person wants to then join the Western paradigm, and they come over in droves. And when they get here, they create conditions in which they're hostile. And they say, I'm a victim. I just set foot in your country, but because I'm not white, I'm a victim, and I want this and this and this. And that's not a sustainable proposition unless you're intent on committing collective suicide. Just a fact. It's not sustainable. And people are saying it's not sustainable. And it's coming, this anger at these elites, what they're doing. So far, their control of the media, of academia, the corporate boardroom, entertainment, popular culture, foundations, has able to give the left power and to have open borders. Open borders and institutional control are the duality that allow the left to stay in power without popular support. And I don't think that's going to be sustainable either. I think finally the sheer numbers of people is going to overwhelm them that are getting angry.